onto your butts.
Good evening, fellow heretics. Welcome to tonight's episode of Nerds and Heresy. I'm your ghost, Captain Dadpool, and the resident Jew archaeologist extraordinaire, Nat and I. And tonight's guest is very special, Neil, the 604 Atheist, who is has his own channel. I highly recommend. He was the second person to invite me on his show. I had a great time. He always has a after
I wasn't
party.
first? Damn it.
No, Oz had me on first.
Oh.
And then like Oz hooked me up with you. And yeah, so that was really cool. And Neil always has after parties after his shows that everyone's invited to pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. Neil, why don't you take a couple minutes and tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you said, I do have a channel that I've been doing now for, it seems like, since the dawn of time. I do interviews with people about their journeys away from whatever belief systems they're once a part of. They're called deconversion stories. They're not always deconversion stories. Like, I've had people on to talk about things like religious influence, that kind of thing that they've had in their lives. Because I've had basically cradle atheists on the show. And of course, I've also had people like Matt Dillahunty on the show, and he's told his story so many gazillion times that he just wanted to talk about something else. So we ended up talking about the state of the atheist community, that kind of thing, and whatnot. So it's generally something interesting that I tend to focus on the show. But they're mostly focused on deconversion stories or reconversion stories too, because I've had some people on that went back to a belief system. So it's interesting. I always wonder how the hell people who find their way free of something like a religious belief, especially. For me, it's like, you know, the part in The Wizard of Oz when you see behind the curtain and you see everything that's going on, and now the Wizard of Oz is no wizard anymore. I just don't know how people could pull that curtain back and go, I pretend I didn't see that. So that's kind of what it's like for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was on there's a guy on TikTok named Stephen Walker. He has twice as many followers as I do, so he's pretty up there, and he wanted me on his show. And I was like, will you come on my show? And he's like, yeah. And he was that way. He deconstructed and then reconstructed.
That's weird.
And Dave's met him as well. Dave was my co-host for that. I think, Dave and Genevieve were my co-hosts for that show. So the four of us got to talk. And he told a story a little bit. But yeah, reconversions, they confuse me. It makes me think there's more involved than we know.
Could be. One of the things I thought of about that sort of thing is it's possible that there's just too much influence in their life because they may be the only person that found their way free in their entire family, and then the family just kind of like gangs up on them, sort of thing, to drag them back in or something like that.
Well, part of it could be a sense of loneliness too. I mean, a lot of people just don't when they deconvert, they don't realize that the voice in their head wasn't Jesus all along, and or the Holy Spirit, and they're just like, oh God, who am I talking to? And that kind of panics them. They'll take a step back and be like, well, now I have no one to rely on, when they don't realize like it's themselves. It's like it's a step towards maturing.
Sure.
And they just get lost in it and have to go back.
Well, one of the reasons I do the show is to show them that there is a community of people out there that do have their back. And that's why I do the after parties, so that I do the interview with them. And then, of course, my producer pops in for the last 15 minutes usually. And then we get everyone together and they get to meet some people so that they know that there is some sort of a safety net there for them if they ever need it.
Yeah, that's really needed. There's a what's it called? The Clergy Project. Yes. Which is a website. I'm sure Neil knows all about it.
I have it linked in every single video.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the Clergy Project, for those who don't know, is it's a website that serves as like a social media platform, but it's all people who are clergy members, pastors, or like they have their livelihood tied up in their religion that they don't believe anymore. But so in order to pay the bills, they have to basically fake it till they make it. So they help each other out with support. There's tips on finding new jobs or new schooling to get a trade. Like there's all kinds of stuff like that. It's really cool, but kind of sad that something like that is needed at the same time.
It is. Well, you know, I mean, if that's what you're going to be, if you want to be a pastor or a priest or a minister or whatever, it's always good to have some sort of a backup plan just in case that falls through, right? So I always say, take a course where you could actually, use that in case this doesn't work out.
Yeah. So I tried something like that actually. When I was doing my theology degree, I switched for like one semester to multimedia communications or something like that.
Excellent.
And like flunked my first class because the professor, he just graduated from his master's program. He was this young guy, just got the job, and he ran like a master's level curriculum for a bachelor's. And it was so bad, there was a cheating ring that got discovered. And like he did daily tests that were just incredibly difficult. And so people, started a cheating ring because they would, like, one person would do the online test, and then one person, they did a rotation. One person would bomb the test and get all the answers and then message all the answers to everybody else in the ring. I wasn't a part of it. I didn't find it, honestly. I didn't find out about it until later. I dropped out because I was failing, and then I found out about that ring and I'm like, oh, that'd have been great to be a part of.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, like I ended up switching back to theology because I'm like, I'm not doing this. That's for sure.
There are some professors that take their job a little too seriously. I will admit.
Yeah, he was that guy.
I've come across a few of them, and I'll say my GPA did take a hit, but I could never see myself backing out. I did back out of one class because of sexism, though. There was a professor that was blatantly giving decent grades to the men in class, and anytime it was a woman, he dropped their score. I took my test along with another girl's test, and two of the guys that volunteered to take their tests up to the deans, to the deans and student affairs office, and he was called in because my answers were all right, but he would knock off all of it was chemistry. So he would knock off all of my paperwork, saying that, like, he doesn't understand how I got this answer. He thinks I'm cheating. It's not going very well. What? Are you trying? Yeah, but then my, at the time, boyfriend was also in this class. And he got a B on the test, and none of his answers were right. But apparently all of his hard work, he wrote down everything he was thinking, and that was good enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it was
what did you mean, like the hexagonal type formulaic layouts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Wow. I do chemistry. That's what I do for a living.
Oh, yeah. No, it was, there was all these varying equalization equations and everything, or balanced equations. That's the word for it. And he didn't understand where I was getting my numbers from, but they were right. And my boyfriend, who sat next to me, all of his answers, I mean, I feel bad if he sees this, like, someday. But he's married and has a kid now, and I'm very happy for him. Thank you, Sebastian. But I love him so much, and he was just not getting it. And when I saw his test was a B and mine was an F, I was like, wow. How?
That is suspicious as fuck.
It was very suspicious for me. That was something that doesn't happen. So, and I mean, even he was just like, well, what's wrong? And I was just like, what do you think? Anyway, so those professors suck. Anyway,
so Neil, Neil, you mentioned you specialize in deconversion stories. When I started my channel, my normal co-host, his name is Mason or Crimson Barrel. He's a mythology expert. He's doing a cross country or moving that's taking him a long time. So I had Nat come in. But anyway, he like reached out. I was like, hey, if you want to start a show, like, I'll do all the technical stuff because that's what was holding me back. And he makes really great content too. It's like, yeah, we could collab and make a show together. And that's one thing we talked about is, should we do deconversion stories? And I was like, no, there's a ton of other shows out there. And I remember you specifically, Neil, I was like, they do it way better than I ever could. So we came up with the format.
For more, man. Always room for more.
No. Well, we came up with the format of why don't we have a guest on and talk about what they want to talk about? You know, so like,
that's fair. Sure.
So they come on, they have a good time. So I didn't ask you what you wanted to talk about because I wanted to pick your brain about, you know, specifically your experience, because you've had this show for a very long time. You probably heard over 1,000 deconversion stories by now.
Not quite, but I'm climbing up there. I think it's around 600 or so. Pretty close.
Oh wow, so I'll keep a track.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Mikey does that.
Oh well,
but I'm
every
pretty
team
sure
the numbers guy.
It's now. I'm now in my 4th year doing it. So
nice, very good. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to pick your brain about. Is there any, like, what do you gather from hearing all those? Is there like a certain like one theme that's more prominent than others? Is there like a prior worldview that helps more? Just like what are your like thoughts on anything?
I think, a couple things. It depends on the level of indoctrination that these folks were in. Like a lot of them that I've had on were quite fundamentalist, like, the 6,000-year-old Earth, all that sort of thing. But a lot of them come from more the culty side of the Mormons, the JWs, those kinds of systems where, I think the thing that strikes me the most when I hear these types of stories, in Islam as well, is the complete abandonment of them. Like the whole family just shuts them out. The shunning, all that stuff, which just blows me away, because I could never, I'll never understand how somebody you claim to love in your family, you could just kick aside because they no longer believe the same thing you do, and keep everyone from communicating with them as well. But they claim that they are taught this sort of thing. That if somebody becomes an apostate, you need to get rid of them because I guess they're dangerous at that point. That they might make someone else start thinking about doubts.
What ideas are contagious? Ooh, spill the beans.
I noticed a couple of questions in the chat already.
Yeah. Absolutely. Have at it with the questions.
Have you ever interviewed people who reconverted or after doing research? No, I don't think so. I've really only ever had like one person that ended up going back into it. Well, two actually, but I didn't interview them on that reconversion, but I interviewed them while they were deconverted, and then ultimately found out that they had gone back. And have you had any deconverted Scientologists? Yes, I've had. Really? I think one on so far. Yeah.
Tell me about that. How was their deconversion story? I mean, were they really into the thick of it, or were they? They weren't. Were they like on the escorts or on the edges of it and left before it got deep?
They're freelance.
Yeah, it was Chris Shelton actually that I had on there. And he was in Scientology. I don't think because it's like levels, right? You go up level until you're
like Freemasons,
kind of like that, yeah. And I don't think he got really high up there, because from what I understand is if you're up amongst the higher levels and you try to leave, they basically literally, well, for lack of a better word, rape your bank account. Like they take all your money.
Yeah, I've heard that
because you owe them for everything that they've done for you, which is a load of horse shit. But I don't think he had to deal with too much of that, if I remember correctly. But he said definitely he was stalked by them for a while. He noticed vehicles being parked out of his side of his residence for quite some time. Making sure, I guess they were making sure he wasn't going to other Scientologists that were lower level people, trying to get them out as well. And yeah, he had some interesting stories about Witnesses
that too. Or Mormons.
Yeah, I think, one person I had on that was ex-Mormon mentioned that they felt like they were being followed everywhere, and turns out that they were from time to time. But
wow,
yeah, it's you know what, man? That old expression always comes to my mind: if they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. And and it seems to be the way in some of these more cultish behavioral type belief systems. That's for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense that like you're saying, like more fundamentalist, and that's similar with like again Mormons. Like their beliefs are a little out there, even compared to Christians. So it makes sense that people with the more like out there beliefs, they start to be like, do we really get to be our own god of our own planet and have unlimited sex slaves? Is that really what? Doesn't really add up. So yeah, it makes sense that people just start questioning those things. It's like there's more progressive churches now that are on the rise. My church was somewhere in the middle of fundamentals and progressive, and I still deconstruct obviously. But it's also very common that people of these progressive churches just become more progressive. Which I think is a problem, and it's going to ultimately collapse in on itself. I don't know, but not even sure where I was going with this little rant. But
we can hope so, anyways.
yeah, exactly. Like,
I'd like the pews to keep emptying, and apparently they are. So
it's
keep it up.
It's strange to me how able they are, how they're able to just pick and choose. Like I debated somebody, and I brought up the account, and he was very into William Lane Craig, and
Good Lord.
yeah, he was very not super fundamental, not nearly as fundamental as you could be. He was very smart. And then I asked him about the account in Matthew where all the graves opened up and zombies walked around. I was like, oh, well, that's I think that's just like ancient Hebrew literature that was inserted in there later. It's like, really?
Just that one?
Anything
just that
else?
One story?
Like, that one thing you're gonna say that one thing isn't true, but everything around it is.
Yeah,
it's like you have 100 people rising from the dead. That's crazy, but one guy that I can believe.
Yeah,
that I can believe. So,
especially after cell death occurs, like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, folks, but after 3 days, cell death has occurred fully, and there's no reanimating the body.
No.
Yeah, it's a miracle, Neil.
There's a reason why.
Hand in there, make like a puppet. Hi, I'm alive again.
There's a reason why in multiple cases of old style grave robbing and reanimation projects that happened during Renaissance era on up to modern day technological advances. They need the body to be within 3 days of death so that they can try to reanimate the corpse via electricity. Thank you, Frankenstein.
Well, there still has to be cellular activity.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's going to stop after really even about 6 hours. They're all pretty much going to be dead. So you got a little bit of a window to attempt it. But it's always good to do it fresh, like kill them and then try and reanimate them. I'm not saying go out there and do that.
Correa wants to know if you had to dress up for church, Dadpool.
Oh, no, I never did.
No?
Went naked.
Yeah, that's what like my church was kind of. We were still supposed to disagree with the gays, but we could wear jeans.
Oh wow!
I was like, it's somewhere in the middle there. We were allowed to have a lead guitar and drums in our band, but we couldn't drink alcohol.
So Neil, are you a cradle atheist?
No.
No. Tell us about your deconstruction then.
Sure. Mine's got a little bit of an interesting story. I was adopted. I was brought home 10 days after I was born from the hospital by the parents that adopted me, who happened to be Jewish. But I was conceived by and born to a Christian couple, or Catholic actually. But I was conceived in the back of a 57 Chevy Bel Air hardtop, by the way, which is
nice.
Sweet.
Sorry.
The weird thing is the father I grew up with had one of those set aside that he was going to give to his first son, right? So, but of course his mother made him sell it when they moved out of Florida up to Montreal. So yeah, I never did get that damn 57.
Oh no.
But I'm starting a GoFundMe.
Link in bio.
Yeah. So I was raised Jewish. I remember being little and just believing what they tell you. Oh yeah, the Noah's flood and the Exodus and Passover dinners and stuff like that. And I do remember like having problems believing some of these stories because they just didn't seem like they could possibly happen. And I remember asking lots of questions in Hebrew school, which is what we, little young Jewish kids do up until their bar mitzvah age or bat mitzvah age. And then they you don't have to go anymore. And, so I was in it for years and years, just learning about all the biblical stories, David and Goliath, and yada, Samson and Delilah, all the Old Testament stuff. And I had issues with some of the stories. And whenever I got asked questions to the teacher, she just couldn't give me right answers, or the other one couldn't either. And I spent a lot of time in the hallway for being disrespectful. I'm like, I'm asking fucking questions. Isn't that what learning is about? So, yeah.
Your deconstruction sounds a whole lot like mine.
Well, I remember thinking, well, I guess there could be a God, so I would ask for favors and nothing ever happened. And it's like, by the time I reached 14, 15 years old, 16 years old, I was a bit of a troubled kid. I was stealing cars and breaking into shit. So my folks decided to send me away to Israel to live there and finish grade 11 and 12 over there.
As you do.
That's
Right.
So cool.
So I lived over
ahead.
there for a couple of years. I lived in the Jewish state and realized that, you know what? Most of these people are fucking secular. They don't really, I mean, they observe the holidays, but it's kind of like tradition. So they go ahead with all that. But most of them don't really believe in deities of any kind. So, I mean, so I kind of took more of that attitude at that point that, well, if there is one, whatever kind of thing. But now I'm like, there can't fucking be one. Like I'm one of those hardcore atheists that says, I don't think there's a God at all. I don't believe there is. To me, there are no such things as gods. They're just mythological characters like a centaur or Beowulf or some shit like that. Like they're all just mythological characters to me anyways. But yeah, so, but I never really called myself an atheist until probably somewhere in my 30s, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
It was a fairly easy transition for me. I didn't, you know how some people, when they deconvert, and I've had a few on where they go through the angry stage, right? Where they get mad because they think that everyone has lied to them. Yeah. I don't really view that as that being the case. We're talking generations of indoctrination, so it's not that anyone was lying to you. It's just this is the way things were with your family, and they have this belief system. They're just passing it on to you, so they're not intentionally lying to you because they probably believe it too, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I had my little rebellion when I was like 15, 16, and got the fuck over it. and really just threw myself into school and studies and wanting to understand things, because all that I felt was that I was held back from understanding the things I wanted to know.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was given restrictions, and I finally, those restrictions lifted, and suddenly I felt like I was really able to dive into all the concepts I wanted to study. So
yeah, real quick, Wesley, in the comments, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm your tits because I'm gonna boot you here real soon if you don't.
Yeah.
Also,
Neil, I was supposed to say hi to you from Titan Uranus.
Oh, hey, Titan.
It's Titan Uranus, by the way.
Titan Uranus? Oh, okay, got it.
Because I will not say it the other way. No, Titan's cool. He's a staple in my chat. So.
Yeah, he's in ours as well. We do love him.
We're all convinced he's omnipresent.
I think so.
Like
I've gotten him to talk.
He's everywhere all the time,
man. So,
like, it's a mystery. We're convinced that like Titan's actually like multiple people, or like one person who can like divide himself at will. Like, what's that superhero? You know,
Dr. Manhattan.
My Hero Academia or something, or Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, like
I feel like he's more Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. He can just
yeah.
That's one of my favorite series. Is the Watchmen.
Oh, you like the Watchmen?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we might end up talking.
I had it when it first came out. I had the comic when I had a buddy who owned a comic store, and when that series first hit the stand, I was all over it.
Oh yeah, same here.
Because I heard about it for months before it came out, right? So
yeah, I remember picking up a Watchmen comic when I was 14, 15 years old, and looking at it and being really confused for a hot second, just being like, well, hold on a second. This isn't really historically accurate, but it's like, it was bothering me for a while. And I actually showed it to my mom.
More like a what if
mistake ever. She was just like, no, you can't watch, or you can't read this. And next thing you know, I was like, I had the whole set. So
yeah, great series.
It's very good. And have you seen the series on HBO? Yep. How do you feel about it?
Interesting. I mean, obviously, it comes to be years after the original one. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. It was entertaining. Some of the storyline kind of went a little weird on you, but
yeah.
Like I never got the whole idea of the Rorschach cult.
Good.
Yeah, they didn't really get into that, did they? Like they started out thinking it's like a big, but it was just like a weird following of Rorschach, and
they were doing things that he would never have done.
No, yeah, it was very.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, it was problematic for sure. And I didn't like that they didn't have him. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't like
it changes when you breathe in it too.
Oh, it's one of those. I've seen those.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh no! See, now I've lost my train of thought because now.
Anyway, no. The nerdy segment like transitions naturally now.
See, I will back out right now. I will.
It doesn't usually happen this quickly, but
we will talk more about this. I assure you.
I got lots of masks. I like to collect them. So.
What made you collect masks? Like specifically Marvel masks, or are you just kind of?
Doesn't matter. Nope, not specifically Marvel.
Like, interesting.
Here's one here.
Batman. I'm calling it. Oh no, it's Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Is that a stormtrooper?
No. Don't you? Oh, Captain Dadpool's gonna.
I did that on purpose.
Hate in the comments. Come on, guys, flood that hate in the comments.
or this one.
Oh my God! It's
Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
Jack Skellington. You want to know how much I like Jack Skellington? I recreated him as Hamlet for a senior art project, and I still have it to this day. It's falling apart. Please don't judge me. But I did the Alas Poor York stance for Hamlet.
Oh,
I recreated him.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
It was and I have it to this day because I enjoyed my art teacher. I wasn't very good at it, but at sculpting, but like I was like, what should I do? It's like I will remake Hamlet in Jack Skellington.
I did one time have a Batman mask, but a friend of mine came down with cancer, and he was a big Batman fan, and he wanted to borrow it to play with his grandson while he was off work and stuff like that. So I ended up just giving it to him. It's the full cowl one like that.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, nice. But I did just recently get this one, which is
just Wait, is that Deadpool?
No,
it's not Deadpool. Try again.
I gotcha.
Antagonizing us.
This is fun. I'm gonna keep doing that. I actually saw there's a
getting
TikTok
a Deadpool one
that someone took a Slade mask or a Deathstroke mask, and he painted the black half with the what is that that carbon fiber based, like the blackest black to be ever created. It's like
the black that you have to assure everyone that you're not so and so that created the bean in Chicago.
What?
Do you know that story? I can't think of the name of the artist, but when they created that black, the blackest black, it was mimicked after another blackest black that the artist that created the bean in Chicago created. And when they went through and recreated and he was selling it for like 1 pint for like, God, an ungodly amount of number. Like it was way too expensive. So another artist was like, oh, well here, let me recreate this color for you. And he called it the blackest black. And he's like, whenever you order it, you have to confirm that you are not associated with, know, or are buying for said artist of the bean. And then you can get the blackest black for like $50 instead of like 5,000. So
what?
Yeah, it was crazy expensive when it first came out. I don't know about it now, but I just remember that story being like highlighted for a while.
At that price, that's going to make my bank account the blackest black hole ever.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's nuts. But no, that would be so cool because then like that light doesn't reflect off of it. It's completely matte. It's really neat.
That is cool. You hear that they actually saw light in a black hole recently?
Yeah.
I saw that, yeah.
It was showing on the back end of a black hole. They weren't quite sure what's going on. So they're still figuring that out.
They will. They'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, yeah, they will. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Also, the Earth's inner core apparently is getting a little on the warp side. It's starting to wobble all weird.
Well, it's not starting to. We're just starting to be able to detect it.
Right. That's right.
Because we're pretty sure it's an ongoing thing because there are definitely hotter areas in the Earth's core and cooler areas in the Earth's core. And we know that there are floating mounds and plutons in the Earth's core that are moving about. But we don't know to what extent. We don't know if it's like under entire continents just shifting or if there's like little lakes of hot lava that are like lubricating other plates that have been moving around
likely.
beforehand.
That's quite possible.
Yeah.
Also,
so there's a lot of really cool stuff. See, Neil's on my page. Come on, Dadpool.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about, because we were talking about this little discovery that they recently were able to show was something that was real, because they'd always kind of hypothesized about this sort of thing anyways. But where was I going with this? Oh, they think that it could be one of the reasons, because every once in a while the Earth likes to flip poles. Like,
yes.
Not the magnetic pole, but actually move around like that.
Yeah.
So they think that this could be one of the causes of that happening.
It could be. If it just, I mean, human life has not existed long enough for us to understand or watch a pole move polarity.
Right. Well, we can see the magnetic.
Yeah, we've only been around for 6,000 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, ice cores show that very readily. So it's easy to measure now, but we haven't been around long enough to be able to witness it. So.
Right.
Yeah. There's only so much you can observe in 6,000 years. So.
We're not
Stop giving them fuel.
I'm the troll host. I'm having fun. Yeah, I bet you two could go back and forth for a very long time.
Oh, probably.
A chemist and a geoarchaeologist. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my uncle's a chemistry professor, or he's retired one now, but he's the main reason why I had to. When I showed him my test, he's like, "You need to take that to the dean. Like this chemistry professor is going to ruin your career in college if you don't do something." And so I called him up, and then he was like a standby witness, because every night I was video chatting with him, like while I was doing homework, because some of the homework was just outrageous for a entry level chemistry professor. I mean, this didn't even get us into organic chem. Like, it wasn't even close to it. It was my first chemistry professor, my freshman year, and it got way too intense. He doesn't teach there anymore.
I wonder why. That's weird.
I wonder. But yeah, and yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Sorry.
No, it was God, that I don't hold grudges very often. He's one of the people that I'll hold a grudge on, because he still didn't admit his fault. I had to switch to a different professor. Like, he would write the test, I would write, or I would do my answers, and then I would hand it off to this other professor. I wouldn't hand it to him. Right. And the other professor would grade it and then give it back to me, and that was that.
Nice.
So
good. At least you had somebody who was rooting for you. And you know what?
Yeah, it took a little while though.
Just take him and put him in the fuck you pile. Don't even hold the grudges. And
that was one of the things I retained
more than the other person.
So much of the criticism that he gave me up until the point where I was able to fight back. So I still second guess myself on a lot of chemistry that I thought I knew, but I apparently didn't, according to him. But then, of course, like, there was all this chemistry that I ended up learning when I was working with geology. I was like, yes, organic chem, throw it out the window. That doesn't work the same way in nature.
Oh, hell, there's a ton of books out there you can use for referential purposes if you need, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
got them all on Audible.
This isn't even like a quarter of my collection. This is just what I use for work. It's just basic sedimentology stuff that I can use as references for work, but that's it. Earth's inner core. Hey, I'm a little wobbly. Had a couple drinks. It's my birthday, for Christ's sake. Oh my God, who made this account and why?
I'm going to get Titan. I'm going with Titan.
It's Titan.
This is Titan written all over it.
Oh, yeah. Titan, I love you.
It's either Titan or Tons of Mice. Tons of Mice does that all the time too.
Oh, that's true too.
Like last night we started talking about frogs, and then he changed his name to Tons of Frogs, and so yeah,
that's so great.
A lot of fun.
Oh man,
they keep the chat interesting and fun.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh, it's always fun. Yeah, our chats always get us distracted so bad. I mean, there are some discussions that like carry themselves, but every now and then there's a chat that just gets very back and forth, and we get dragged into it. And next thing you know, it's like, yeah, Titan says it's not me. He says it's not.
That's exactly what someone who did that would say.
Thanks, Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
Wait. No. So I've now spoken his name. I have now spoken Dr. Manhattan's name. I'm saying thank you to him. I expect to see a response.
Oh, I don't have a Dr. Manhattan mask. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, what do you just paint your face blue and make your eyes glow, and then put the dot?
I'm sure there's a Dr. Manhattan watching in the chats.
You're what?
I'm sure there's a Dr. Manhattan watching in the chats.
I'm sure he is. It's very important. Jumping back to Dr. Manhattan. I loved in the series that they had like a telephone booth for Dr. Manhattan. Like all over the world, there's these telephone booths to like contact Dr. Manhattan. I was like, yeah, it's like little.
It was actually, from what I understand, in one of the interviews with one of the main star, I can't remember her name, but that was a nod to the creators of Superman. Actually,
yeah, no, I totally caught that. Yeah, it's like it's all the phone booths. It's the phone booths.
By the way, the creators of Superman were Canadian. Just FYI.
What? They weren't American?
No. Well, they created him in America, but
right, yeah. Well, Canadians tend to have a little more creativity than most Americans. I'll throw it out there. They call that snow. They don't have anything better to do.
More deep state bullshit. Trump 2024.
So
yeah, back to deconstruction stories.
Somebody mute him.
Oh yeah, hey. Well, see, I don't have controls. He has.
I'll mute myself. I'll mute myself.
He's the host. I can't do anything. I am powerless.
Oh, man.
Back to the deconstruction things.
Yeah, back to the deconstruction things. Yeah, Dad. I knew you had a lot of questions.
Is there lots of questions I prepared for this. Yeah, definitely. I'm very professional here. I know.
You're like me. I don't prepare shit. I just read a little bit up on the guests, and I have a few questions that I pose in my head. And that's about it.
Pretty much what I do.
Really?
And it works. It works.
It's my style. Casual conversation. See where it goes.
Yeah, me too. I like them to be organic.
Rules.
Okay, well, I have a question then.
Well, I had a question. I didn't say I didn't have a question.
I
just lied about having several questions.
Okay, then I won't ask my question. That's fine.
Okay, good.
Well, somebody ask a question.
I'm asking a question.
Ladies first. No, I'm kidding. My question first. What is there a I like to like you've heard all these stories. I always liken the deconstruction process to like the stages of grief. There's denial, there's anger, there's self-loathing, there's bargaining, acceptance at the end.
Acceptance, yeah.
Yeah. Does that seem true to you? Like accurate, more or less?
I think there are lots of cases like that, especially if they came from, like we were saying earlier, some of the more fundamentalist or extremist positions. When they tell their story, it almost sounds like they're going through those stages sometimes. So yeah, I would say there's an element of that for sure in a lot of cases. If they're more casual, like, we didn't go to church a lot, we might have gone on Christmas mass or something like that, then there's a little less of that because there really is no anger phase for those types. But if they're right into it, and then they do hit those stages, and if you think about it, it is a form of grief anyways. When you pull out of a belief system you were so, for lack of a better word, so heart and soul into, it can do all kinds of things to you.
Look at
that. Oh, well, so it's all your fault, eh?
Oh my God.
Go home, Earth. You're drunk, and take Manhattan with you.
Go home, Earth. You're drunk. I'm going to keep drinking.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Are you sober, or are you?
No, it's not that I'm sober. I like my beer and my scotch, but I can't drink it right now. I have something called DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and I'm on blood thinners.
Oh, is it a permanent deal, or do you have to?
I hope it's not a permanent deal.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. That sucks.
I just one day, and one of my legs was swelled right up, my left one, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, that's not good. Yeah, you definitely need
have you tried praying?
No.
No, you should try praying.
Right, yeah. I'll just talk to my cat and get the same results. So.
You might actually get more results from your cat.
Probably.
Just saying.
A little bit of love.
Yeah.
And if by the way, if you do pray and it doesn't get healed, it means you didn't have enough faith.
Right.
Sorry,
Didn't
it's
try
it's
hard
not
enough.
it's not God's fault. It's your fault.
No,
Anyway,
it's yeah,
insert
but
retort
he
trope
gave it to
here.
you in the first place, so have fun with that.
No.
Nat, what was your question?
Okay, so I wanted to talk to Neil about the idea that got him into listening to deconstruction stories. Were you one of those people that others come to just seek out advice naturally growing up? Were you like one of those people that just like would lend an ear randomly and they just like they love to like spill their guts to you? You know what I'm talking about? There's some people that I've met that are just like, God, they're just like magnets for this kind of thing.
That's me, by the way, 1000%. But we could talk about that another time.
Okay.
I've got stories.
I've been told that I'm that way. I guess.
Yeah.
Like people when I first meet people, they say that it seems to be really easy to sort of trust, I guess, or they feel at ease when they start talking to me, because I'm just a big fucking idiot stick teddy bear, kind of. I might a lot of people say a quick story. One of the girls I was dating, her roommate piped up one day and said, "You know what? I remember you now. I remember you walking down the street. You had the long black hair back when I used to dye my hair black, and you had the black fucking leather overcoat that went past your knees, and which I still have. And
nice.
You scared the fuck out of me, and so I crossed the street. And now that I know you, I never would have done that." Right? So apparently I've got the intimidating look, but people say they really don't know what to make of me until they actually start getting into a conversation. Mm-hmm. And then I'm always willing to be an ear to bend or a shoulder to lean on or something like that. Always willing to help if and when I can, for sure.
So I feel like I need to make a T-shirt for you now that says "Story, quick story."
Story. Oh, believe me, there's lots of T-shirts that are going to be made. Just because of the show I do, everyone clips these little sayings that I have. Like
I have heard you say that before, because I did a little research, just a little, and I do remember that popping in. After Neil pops out your eyeball, it's easy to open up to him.
Oh,
that's a story.
One?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I was a
Whose
bouncer.
eyeball did you pop out?
This drunk asshole that came at me with a fishing bat. It's a small bat about yay big, made out of wood, and it's got a hook on the end of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to smash this fish. So
and then you pull them up out of the water.
Yeah.
Well, he came at me with that, and he was hammered too, like he could barely walk. So all I did, because those types of people tend to get really aggressive, and they'll just start flailing the thing. So I just held the bat and I stuck my thumb and popped the eyeball out, and I had my cohort. John with a cup of tepid water. They put the eyeball in there. Lucky for the guy, there was the grocery store just on the other side of the parking lot. There were paramedics. So I called them over and I said, "Listen, get this guy back and pop his eye in because he was out of control." But I'll tell you what, when you're looking at somebody with one eye and your shoe with the other one, the fight's instantaneously over. Yeah. So, and I learned how to do that in the Israeli martial arts, Krav Maga, actually. So,
oh wow,
they show you how to push in, and it just pop. It'll pop. It's easy to do.
I mean, yeah,
it leaves a black eye and shit, but
I mean, I understand how to because I've messed with cadavers.
Yeah,
but I never thought about doing it on a real person.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, not that cadavers aren't real people; it's just alive people.
Yeah, live people. It's different thing.
Sorry, just
so take notes. Neil's a really nice guy until you get on his bad side. then he doesn't give a fuck about you or your feelings or your eyes, apparently.
I think
or where your eyes are located in respect to their skull.
He obviously went and got the paramedics to make you feel better, but he's not going to let you die. He's just going to make sure that you understand that you were in the wrong.
That won't kill them. It's because let's face it, the optic nerve is long.
It's very long. It's ridiculously
properly
long.
Put it back in.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then put the eye back in.
Yeah. You have to shovel that stuff back in. So it can, I think.
Never saw the guy again. Never showed up at the bar again. Ever.
He never saw you again either. He's blind.
No, he was funny.
He's blind now. Of course he's never going to see you again.
Ollie's like, well, this turned morbid.
We can always get more morbid. I'm just saying, it can always happen.
Ollie's my brother from the other side of Canada.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So I'm on the West Coast. He's on the East Coast.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wait, how far on the West Coast are you?
I'm Vancouver.
You're in Vancouver. Did we talk before? Have we talked? Do you know Pat and them from? No, you're not. You're not showing any recognition. He's another archaeologist that I talked to that's in Vancouver.
I don't know.
He's on saying every now and then.
It's a lot of people in Vancouver, Nat.
Yeah, it's like 3 million of us.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like,
not a lot of people in Vancouver that are on Tang. I'm just saying.
Okay,
that's true. That's true.
I can't tell you how many times I get when people find out I'm in the army. They're like, "Hey, do you know?"
Yeah. Or when they find out I'm Canadian. Oh, do you know the Andersons? Sure. You mean the ones?
Yeah, sure. They're right down the way.
Oh, yeah. We're on a first name basis. Totally. Grew up together. Dated the same girl. It was a big fight. It's behind us now, though. We buried the hatchet.
You know, when I lived in Israel, I was one of few. There was about 5 or 6 of us that were Canadians, and the rest were all Americans. And I used to get questions like, "So, do you like have a pet penguin?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, there's no penguins in the North Pole. They're all in the South Pole, Madagascar. They're all in the Southern Hemisphere, unless they're in a zoo." And no, I don't have a pet polar bear. No, I don't have a 2 garage igloo. Or it's like I had to answer all these ridiculous questions.
Well, but
it's like they think, like from Florida, some guys like, so if I come across the border, there's going to be snow and I can go snow. It's like, dude, it's not like there's a line where there's snow and no snow. It doesn't work that way. No. You hardly get any snow in Vancouver.
No, well, yeah, you guys don't have the Canadian Shield to contend with, though. So
that's right. That's right.
That's the best part of the Rockies is when you're on the west side of the Rockies.
Yeah, we get hit with a storm once every like 8 to 10 years, and then we get this. It's like snow and the West Coast, and they dump like 4 feet of snow, and we're like, oh my God! I couldn't even get over the bridge to go to work because I didn't have snow tires on. I had to get towed over. But here in Canada, that's free.
That is really funny though, because so who was it that was asking these things? Were they the other Americans, or was it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that makes
asking sense those kinds of questions were like from the southern states. Usually, the northern states folks know more about Canada than they do, right? So.
I was gonna say, yeah. I wasn't expecting those that were living in the Israeli state to actually ask those questions. I feel like they're a little better educated than that. Just maybe.
I think some of them were trolling me, probably. Although being Canadian, we come up with silly memes like I'll have a picture of a maple tree, and then I put underneath it, I'd tap that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'd tap that.
Yeah,
you tap it for syrup.
Yeah. Exactly. Makes Canadians laugh.
It makes people that understand Canadians laugh.
You can play coins all you want, Ollie. We have a drinking game on my show. I have the Mario coin noise on my phone for every time a notification comes through. And I get a lot of them. So it's hashtag coins.
Right? So you take a drink every time.
Every time you hear the hashtag coin, and you see the hashtag coins pop up in the corner, it's a drinking game. And still,
we used to do it like a game when we first started.
Intolerant Humanist says all religions are evil. Do we believe this?
No.
I
can't look at a Jain and think that they're evil.
Yeah, they like Jain extremists won't step on an ant. Like they look at every step that they take so they don't step on an ant. Yeah, so
but they're
also very slow people because they're always.
Hemet Mehta is the next Jain, by the way.
Who?
Had him on the show. Hemet Mehta. You know,
not sure who that is.
He was on Jeopardy. One of the shows, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I think I know who you're talking about. He's
on Pathos. He was a Jain. Yes.
Oh, he was a Jain.
His family is still Jain, but.
Do you think vegans should just transfer into being Jains and just?
Do they step on ants now?
It's not necessary, but they got to remember. See, what Jains don't understand is there's all the microbiology that they're not.
I was going to say every time they take a shower, they're killing so much.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Every time they step, they're killing. Every time they move, they're killing something. Every time they rub their arm, they're killing something.
No, the only way a Jain could ever truly be happy is if they're dead.
And not, they'll become,
as in their food
fertilizer. For the fauna and flora that they fed off of.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. That's
So
exactly it.
So for that, every hand job is a mass genocide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
it's awkward.
No comment.
Masturbation. Yeah. I remember I learned about masturbation quite young.
Well, every sperm is sacred, so.
Well, my dad said, son, it's fine. Masturbation is normal, especially for some of your age, just not at the dinner table.
It's important to have boundaries.
It is.
Yeah, like a door.
It is. Took years for me to be allowed back into Safeway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, remember the magazine section? I'm just kidding.
That's a mood.
That's a vibe. Ding! Drink!
Yeah, there you go. There's the hashtag coins right there.
I don't even have a drink. We're out of beer, aren't we?
I can't.
Beer?
I mean, I probably could have one. Pretty sure I could probably have one. I have.
You probably could have wine.
I've had two since being on these. I had one, and I nursed the shit out of it. See, the problem is if you drink alcohol,
I don't know what alcohol is. I'm listening.
But apparently, it can cause bleeding in the stomach while you're on blood thinners. So
yeah, no,
but I think that's more hard alcohol than it would be beer, because beer is what, 5% out, if you know,
it's
average 5%.
Yeah, you're in Canada, so yeah, 5%.
Yeah.
And depends on which state you're in here as to what it is.
Some of the best beer I've had was in Texas, supplied by R and Raw, actually, and he finds all the good stuff, man. And he ordered one for me. He ordered one for me that had habanero in it as well. So you're drinking the beer, really tasty stout type beer. And I'm drinking, and then I'm, that's really good. I like the flavor that comes with it. And then all of a sudden it hits you. Oh shit!
You're like, I need more.
Get that little kick,
okay,
right?
I need to know more about this.
Oh yeah, it's
the
really
habanero
good.
beer. Oh, I think that's out of Austin.
Yeah, it is. It is.
There's a brewery down there that is based. It's like a pinup doll brewery, and all of their it's run by women, distilled by women, and I love their. And honestly, I can't think of the name of it at the moment, which is horrible. But I might have to Google it. But anytime I'm down there, that's what I'm drinking if I'm in the Texas region.
I could tell you this: if you're ever in Texas and you go drinking, go with Aaron, because he knows all the good ones.
Well, I mean, when I'm down there, because I mean, technically my office is down there. I'm just not there very often.
There was
tell him I sent you.
There's a meadery close to me called Iron Hill Meadery. Is it Iron Hill or anyway? They have a mead that has habanero. Or no, Carolina Reaper in it. And it's called Satan's Asshole.
Oh.
They're always you can order it online.
But now the name just no. I don't need to be drinking from Satan's Asshole. That's an unnecessary thing.
Yeah.
I have a hot sauce called Shit the Bed.
I mean, I have a lot of butt rubs that are butt rubs.
But we did this. I did this over on Ethan's channel.
Oh, sweet.
The wing challenge, right?
Pleasure and pain.
Yeah, you go up gradually. You use the different ones. And
do you watch the hot sauce challenge show?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I got a funny story.
I'm just gonna mix all those together.
In King of Prussia Mall, in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, there's a hot sauce shop, and they had the hottest hot sauce, which I know there's a million of those. They all make the same claim, but it was called The End, and they claimed it was the hottest hot sauce in the world.
What was the Scoville measure on it?
I don't remember. This was when I was in college. So there's a challenge. You take a little sample spoon, and you take it and you hold it in your mouth for a minute, and then you're allowed to drink. And if you do, then you take a picture, upload on Instagram wearing a little crown they give you. I did it. It sucked. Got my picture taken, chugged the milk. The milk did not help. Not even a little bit. There's a Rite Aid inside the mall, like on the other side of the mall. I sprinted to that Rite Aid to buy more milk. When I was in line to pay for it, I had to throw up. So there is an empty register behind me. I reached over the register because I used to be a cashier. There's always a little trash can right there. Grabbed the trash can, threw up just a metric fuck ton into that crowd. And And they were people in line, multiple cashiers, all just looking at me. I was like, yep, just give me a minute. And I just kept throwing up for like a good 5 more minutes.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I won the challenge, but like the first 60 seconds is by far the easiest.
Believe me, the old wives' tale of drinking milk to get rid. Don't do that because it'll instantly curdle, and you will puke
not only will it curdle, but the coating of the sauce, like if it's hot enough, it'll actually coat your tongue so that the flavors then trapped, and it doesn't matter how much water you drink, it'll stay trapped within your taste buds, so you're stuck. So,
I've since heard things like that, and I'm.
So I always recommend an ice cube, bite down, let it cool. No.
Water still spreads it around.
It does.
So the best thing to do is grab some bread.
Oh yeah.
And just stick the bread in, let it sit in there, chew on a little bit, and then swallow it, and then take another piece and do the same thing. It'll absorb some of that, and you just take it all the way down so your mouth feels better, but you're still going to feel it down here.
I always chew on ice. That tends to help with mine. I don't let it melt. I just chew on it and swallow, and it cools it off.
I had no knowledge of any like spice neutralizing hacks at the time.
Craig
I just had to take it.
Eat bread. Yeah, that's right. He's good.
Oh,
there was bread at that
Rite Aid. Tabasco. So I guess in the last 2 years, Tabasco has been making localized honey and putting their really hot ghost pepper Tabasco sauce in with the scorpion, whatever they're naming it. But they put it in with the honey, and it's an infused flavor. And I had it on toast one day, and it was lovely.
That sounds good.
But you can only get it at the Tabasco factory. I only found this out when I was down there. I was like, oh.
Can't order it online from them?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I was told that they don't stock it in grocery stores. It's something that they do strictly from the plant.
There's a little mom and pop farm up in a place here called Vernon where they do their own honeys and stuff, and they've got like 100 and something different flavors that are infused with the honey. Excellent. And I always go for like the cinnamon one or the blueberry one or the raspberry.
There's a blackcurrant honey that I got overseas that I'm pretty obsessed with still. So
it's good. I love that stuff. Blackcurrants are awesome.
Blackcurrant is amazing. Best ice cream ever too. Although I've been turned on to huckleberry recently, and I'm a little.
Huckleberries are good.
Yeah, I'm a little biased now because I mean blackcurrant has that nice tangy sourness to it, and then the huckleberries are just so sweet. And I can't decide now. It's very difficult.
You get huckleberries early enough, they have that right balance of sweet and sour.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Well, they grow wild right here.
So. I was gonna say, yeah, there's been a lot of fires right now in Montana, and that's where I got my supply. Shout out to Morgan and his wife for supplying me with a jar of huckleberry jam. Thank you.
Nice. Neil Correa wants to know what's your favorite one of your favorite deconversion stories. Do you have a favorite? Is there one that was the craziest to you, or
not so much the craziest, but one of the ones that I think had the most emotional effect on me was the interview I did with Eric Murphy.
Why?
Him and I are actually share a lot of similarities. We were both adopted. We both met our biological families. We both grew up in some belief system, and a lot of the stuff that a little bit of abuse involved and stuff like I also had, but most like getting my ass kicked and stuff like that from my dad and whatnot. And just, I guess, the relative connections that we had in these stories kind of brought it out of me a little bit. Like I basically had to have a box of tissue next to me for this one. And I think just some of him telling how his reactions with his mom and stuff like that. And see, I didn't have that part of it because my folks were like fairly secular anyways, even though they'll still say things like, oh, God forbid, or stuff like that. Right. But that's more just a hangover, I guess. Cause my mom told me she doesn't really believe either, but she said it would be nice though. It's like, well, Mom. And I had the whole talk with her about the actually an afterlife literally breaks the laws of physics. So anyway, but yeah, I think the Eric Murphy one is the one that really affected me the most. And another one, which was a situation, is an ex-Muslim. His name's Human Oboe. He's on Twitter as well.
Is he a human oboe?
Human bonobo.
Human bonobo. Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So
bonobo. Okay, so I didn't hear bonobo. I heard oboe. So I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, human oboe. It's a playoff of human and bonobo, right?
Yeah.
They're our closest
They're so cool. Okay, anyway.
Oh, they're smart too.
They're so cool.
They're one of the few animals that can
actually bastards too.
Plan for the future.
Yeah, and they have been shown to create stone tools and have they have preparation baskets or preparation holes where they store food and tools and things that they might need in case of emergencies, and they'll bury them, and it's like a cache of information next time they come around. So bonobos are amazing. Anyway, so go ahead.
Anyways, but he's now, his family, again, a family deserts him, or they didn't necessarily desert him, but there's threats of his life now. Like, if they find him, they will, because you're supposed to kill apostates in Islam. And that kind of shit really, A, makes me sad, and B, pisses me off to no end. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is your flesh and blood, and you want to kill them because they don't believe what you do anymore? Yeah, so those are probably two that stand out the most, I think.
That's unfortunate. Is there, okay, so I have to ask, because you brought up the whole thing, they have to kill apostates. If you could choose, hi dragons, if you could choose to follow one law or one commandment, maybe not a commandment, but like some form of understanding within biblical terms without actually being like Christian or Muslim or Jewish or anything, is there one law that you think is hilarious and you'd love to follow? Because I do have one that I really want to.
Well, let's hear yours first.
I want to stone an adulterer.
Want to stone an adulterer?
Throw a rock at someone.
Well, I mean, I think that there's better methods of dealing with people than
probably
ending their life. But
some people know there's not. Some people just need a rock to the head.
Just gonna say there are, there's somewhere I would be tempted to do so, like a child rapist. I would be tempted.
It'd be a very big rock.
Out. Yeah,
or a small, very fast rock.
Even those people could possibly be,
I just think
fixed or something. I don't know.
I just think that it would be hilarious if I found out someone was cheating on someone and I could just like throw a pebble at them and be like, "Ha! I did it," and just run away. It's one of those life goals. I just want to do it once, just once, and it needs to be very spontaneous or something along those lines. I just have to.
Jehovah. No, but I mean, there's also parents can stone their children.
Yeah, see, but then I don't like that.
I don't have any kids.
Honor killing,
I know of, but
honor killing, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's what the whole Islam thing that I was telling you about with human oboe is. It's an honor killing. It's like, no, you're just fucking dicks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nat, apparently you were a good person until you put a beer in your mouth, and now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's cider. It's Cider Boys from Wisconsin, so I'm a fan.
See, cider, there's no alcohol in it, so she is a good person.
Well, no, it is. It has alcohol.
Cider has alcohol.
It has alcohol.
You're a bad person again.
I'm a bad person. No, it's 5%. 5% alcohol.
You can buy.
Doesn't matter percent.
Non-alcoholic apple cider.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna pop his bubble then, because he doesn't know I used to work at a distillery and I used to drink alcohol for a living. So
nice.
Yeah, I did that for a year. That was fun. I was the chemist.
There you go. That's what I do for the environmental company I work for.
Hey, we're in environmental firms. Oh man, we're so similar. That's what I work. I work with environmental firms as well, just with can't fucking think, cultural resource management, so CRMs. So I'm 5% of a bad person. 5% I'll work with. That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. We're good.
That's better than most. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine will have about 15% ABV. See, I knew I liked for that reason.
Huckleberries go nuclear. People throw rocks at me all the time. That's a huckleberry for you.
I'm your huckleberry.
I'm your huckleberry. Yes, we need that tombstone quote in there. I love it.
I remember hearing a while back that wasn't actually scripted.
No, so we don't know for sure. What was scripted is I'll be your hucklebearer. So like I'll bear your tomb, right? So like I'll help carry you to the grave. But he says I'll be your huckleberry because he said it earlier as well. And so there's some discrepancy as to what words actually came out of his mouth for that particular scene in the end when they're having the shootout. So
see, Neil, I told you she'd make you feel dumb.
I don't mean to.
No. I don't feel dumb. Yes.
Just finding out facts. It's sharing information. That's how it is. I like how everything just turned into alcohol in the scripts.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm a woman and I drink alcohol. My bad, guys. I'm so sorry.
I know. And imagine being feet away from this and not being able to drink it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Oh my God, your beard has like such nice touch-ups. That is so impressive. The double line. Oh no, it's very classy. I think it's interesting.
Couple weeks ago, I was going into Walmart to grab another one of these prescriptions for these things, and the kid goes, "Oh my God, that's the coolest facial hair I've ever seen in my life!" And it's like with his mom, and she's like hiding her face. Kind of
No,
embarrassing me.
Stop embarrassing me, Jimmy.
Yes, I've got some.
He has Macallan. Yeah,
he has 12-year-old. And I got the small bottle because the small bottle was almost $100.
Yeah, that
large
bottle.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's in Canada though. So the small bottle here in the U.S., like I think it's a 12-ounce bottle, is somewhere around 50, and then the large, which is I think the 24-ounce or the 20-ounce.
We don't do ounces. We do. This is 375 milliliters.
Milliliters. My bad.
But you would know because
I still understand the differences though. Yeah. Yes. So like, yeah.
There's a difference.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys realize you're like one of 3 countries left on the planet that doesn't use them.
3, 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Myanmar.
I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the system.
Which system? Metric?
No, I believe in metric. I don't believe in standard.
It's much easier to do. So
right? Yeah, we have.
But of course, there's not much left here, but
Huckleberry will drink that. Huckleberry will drink that for you. I'm sure you will, but you don't get a chance.
No, I'm saving that for when I'm finally off these things. And I'm going to knock those couple fingers back right away. No ice.
Any idea how long that'll
shot
be?
Of water. Well, I have to be on them for 3 months. Like that's the minimum, right?
That's not too bad.
It starts out first week, you double dose. You take 2 pills morning, 2 pills evening. Then you go after 7 days, you go to 1 pill morning, 1 pill evening. And I'm on that stage right now. And then I got to go for about 3 months. And then, and then we'll see. I have to see a hematologist at that point. And then they decide, do another, what do you call it? Where they rub the goo on you and that machine that they use where they can see in there. What they call it? Well, the same thing they use with pregnant women to see the baby. Whatever.
Ultrasound?
That's it. Yes. So they do that again to see if there's because the clog apparently was quite large.
Oh dear.
About yay long. So.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's painful.
No, there was no pain, just swelling.
Wow.
No pain, no discoloration. I told that to my doctor. At first, I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go to the hospital." And then one of my friends like, "Call your doctor, see what he says." Yeah, okay, it's a good idea because I don't want to tie up the emergency room in these times right now, anyways. If I don't necessarily have to, so I call my doctor. Says, "Well, we do know that you have some arthritic issues as well from time to time, so it could be swelling due to that. So sleep on it, and in the morning, if it's still as big as you say, then get to the hospital." So that's what I did. And sure enough, they did the little test on there, and they found it, and it's like, yep, you've got a clot, and it's rather large, so we're going to put you on the new stuff that came out that's really, really good, called Eliquis, which is apixaban, basically.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good. So, there's also kilometers too, right? You don't have to use miles. You can say, we're going to the Earth, and it's whatever it is, 400 something kilometers.
Yeah, did you read the whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
It's bad conversion rates. That's really funny.
Yeah, no, I probably should have finished reading that. Yeah.
That's funny. I'm enjoying that. And to answer the question too, Sahi, I have eaten camel jerky before when I was in Tel Aviv. So
I've had camel jerky.
It tastes like horse, which no one's going to want to hear me say that, but it does.
I've tried horse as well. Yeah, it's similar. I think it's a little bit more gamey than horse.
I would agree with that. Horse. Well, when they raise horses for butcher, they tend to fatten them up, and with camels, it's really hard to fatten a camel. Like really hard. They're just like, nah.
I'm sorry, but camels are assholes.
Camels, llamas, all assholes.
Llamas too.
All of them. God, they're just awful little.
Alpacas, llamas, camels. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Almost 400 kilometers to the moon, right? So if you go, 239 kilometers. Jason's funny. So.
It's further in non-freedom units.
Exactly.
Still the same distance, just measured with a different system.
Yeah, but it sounds further. This is what happens when I get hungry and tired. Units. Oh, interesting.
You mean denial units? Is that what you're talking about?
Denial units. I love it. Oh my God, that's so great.
It sounds like commie shit to me.
Well, part of our flag is red.
Coins.
Hashtag coins. And part of the Canadian flag is red.
Part of the American flag's red.
True enough, but we got the nice big communist leaf in the middle.
Oh yeah, because maples are going to take over the world.
That's why we have to tap them all.
Yeah, you got to give them. You got to give them a little veining every now and then.
Neil, being a Canadian, can you imagine a political event so dividing that people start flying entirely black versions of the Canadian flag?
No.
That's literally happening here, and it's so stupid.
I've seen it. It's I don't understand it.
Ricky, you were on Neil's show way back in the day, right?
Like 6 months ago, maybe?
Oh, no, sorry. My bad.
Yeah,
6 months ago.
I think a little bit before that, but yeah.
Wasn't that long ago, no.
Okay. Sorry, I was just checking. Canadian flag has a weed leaf.
Well,
yeah. Want to destroy civilization.
The green one does.
Oh, God. These are getting horrible.
Some dang shit.
It's legal here, folks.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, God.
If anyone from my work sees this, understand I'm not in Canada giving this interview, and I do not want to take a drug test.
Yeah, and if any of my senior NCOs or senior officers see this, I'm in America. I do not take it either. Even though it's legal for medical reasons, I still cannot be prescribed it, even though I could really use it.
So yeah, for legal reasons, I need to make that statement clear, just in case.
Sure.
Yeah, America's lame.
Why? Well, you're slowly coming over. You're slowly getting the idea that marijuana is really not that bad.
It's taking forever. It's not that I'm not that I'm a big fan of it, but I'm just tired of the whole war on drugs bullshit. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I've never had it. Not once.
Alcohol's worse for you than marijuana.
This is true.
Very true.
There's been some recent studies, and I tried looking them up again, and I can't find them. But I'll dig deeper. There have been some recent studies in neuroscience or neurology, I guess, or neuroscience, where they're finding out that specific cannabinoids can actually help reconnect broken neural pathways. So,
well, we've known that hemp itself, the stem, not necessarily the THC, can actually do some reconstruction on tissue, or at least have some healing elements involved with it. Is it the stem or the root?
I think it's the stem. It is a stem, and you do get a little stem when you blend up.
Yeah.
Right. So that's probably the
that's what I
cannabinoids that are
remember,
there
at least.
that are doing it. Mm-hmm. Your brain produces its own version of a cannabinoid as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Want to learn about weed? Talk to me.
There's even
chemicals. I like talking about
totally good.
My dopamine is like, let's learn about this.
That's yeah. Then we started looking into serotonin, and we're all like, yeah, it's a party.
They're even looking into what is it, LSD as treatment for PTSD, but they can't because it's such a highly illegal substance. They can't get funded to actually do the treatment, but they've had like promising models.
Same with mushrooms. And the
mushrooms are a thing.
Yeah,
mushrooms too. Are very much a thing.
They can also help with those sorts of things. Any type of hallucinogen can help with that sort of issue. If it's done properly, folks.
I was going to say,
don't try it at home. Too. It can fuck you up as well. Mushrooms, I really never do mushrooms because mushrooms would make me sick every single time. So I might
Department of Transportation. That's what it stands for, Korea. Department of Transportation.
Yeah, so DOT, Doctor of Time.
Doctor of Time.
I used to have the TARDIS on my phone, the live wallpaper, and it would spin, and you could tap it, and it would disappear and then reappear. Pretty cool.
Dentist of Tamriel.
Now I have Venom.
Skyrim reference. Try to keep up, people.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting comment.
What's that?
Sir Tenley, a cancer patient from Texas.
Doctor Who.
Says there's the Tetris. My life is worth free labor from prisoners to our capitalist system.
Wait, where's that?
Go back up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I can't tell if he's making a blanket statement or if he's criticizing it. Drink.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
That's why I was like, that's interesting. I don't know to what degree.
Making my brain all twisty.
Yeah, I'm getting some questions. Sir Tenley, if you'd like to clarify your comment, I would appreciate it. Yeah. So, let's talk more about how you got into collecting masks.
It's only been a couple of years since I started doing that, and one of the first ones I got was the Jack Skellington one because I wanted to do him for Halloween one year. Mm-hmm. So, and then I just started seeing once you order something online, more of the same shit starts coming up. I'm like, well, that one's fucking cool. And then I got the Batman one, and which I ended up giving away. I'll get another one at some point.
Which style?
Well, I'm gonna get the same one. Oh, probably I would say Dark Knight. Maybe
Dark Knight, okay.
The taller ears and the whole cowl here, with the darker.
You don't want to get the
not the Keaton one with the.
Oh no! I mean, Keaton's is lovely, but even Keaton didn't have the bat nipples. So
no bat nipples. Thanks. And I've checked.
They're functional.
Clooney had that
somehow.
Chris O'Donnell.
The Batman.
But then I bought the Watchmen one and the Mandalorian one and the Deathstroke one, and I have a few more, but they're buried over there. And so I'm gonna get. I have a Skeleton Jester one, and I have a bunch of cool ones, but I'm getting more and more all the time.
That's awesome.
I have a cool new collection.
There you go. There you go. There's the Jack Skellington one. If you weren't here when I showed it before.
Yeah. Crooked smile and everything.
Yeah.
You ever played Resident Evil, Neil?
Neil removes his mask to reveal that he's really Randolph Richardson.
Oh
no! No, he's a one-of-a-kind act, that guy. What were you going to ask me?
Oh, have you ever played Resident Evil?
Dragons just mentioned that a while back. You mentioned he thinks that you mentioned using a cane. Was that you or was that Dragons or yes? Oh, okay. Are you still Kane?
This one?
Yeah.
It's one I chase all the kids off my lawn with.
Yeah, I have one of those.
You little bastards! Yeah. I suffer from sciatica from time to time. It flares up and my back goes out and I can't stand up, so I need this.
Yeah, see, you're not praying hard enough.
Apparently.
I'm excited to need a cane so I can have a cane sword legally all the time.
Being a chemist. What do you think of that?
Oh, you have one of the periodic
them.
tables. Oh my god, and you have the samples. So
cool.
No,
they're just painted in there. They're not actually samples. I know when I first saw people, wow, they look like samples.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok that has like the wall sized that has each of the samples and he went and got them himself? Yeah. I am so impressed.
I know. I'm like, where'd you get the fucking radiation suit for all the unstable radioactive ones? Like, what the hell are you doing?
I can't remember which one it was, but he said that he got the less radioactive version. I was like, if you're getting it in the pure element, that's not a less radioactive version. that is it.
It's like there's no. What do you mean?
Like, are you radioactive? You're like getting a lesser dose because it's a different isotope? I'm confused.
I don't understand.
Because technically, if it's not the natural isotope, then you're going to end up getting more radiation. I think that's how that math works.
That's right. Right. By the way, folks, gamma rays will not turn you into the Hulk.
Yeah, gamma rays don't work that way.
Neither do cosmic rays. You won't turn into fire or go invisible or.
Fantastic Four reference, people. Fantastic Four reference.
That's right. Although it'd kind of be cool to be like a rock guy. It'd be cool.
I mean, the Thing was one of my favorite characters for a very long time. But then Korg.
It's clobbering time.
Well, but then Korg happened.
Well, Korg was.
You'd have to want to turn it off and on, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be rock guy all the time.
You can't just,
speak for yourself.
You'd never be able to pick up a glass. Fuck. Yeah. But you wouldn't cut yourself. So
you couldn't use elevators.
Why? Oh, yeah, because
I could jump.
Too much. Yeah, that's right.
You wouldn't be able to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, that would hurt.
You could ride a specially designed motorcycle.
Yeah, we get one of those carbon fiber steel ones.
In the 80s,
the ones that cost $9 million.
You know what? If I was made of rocks, I could probably make that much money.
Yeah.
People studying me. Sure.
Yeah.
Or just break into banks, steal it.
Circumcise this.
Let him try and shoot me. I dare you.
Who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you?
The military.
This money is mine now.
No, Ollie, radioactive spider venom isn't a thing. Sorry, buddy.
Also, if there was such a thing as radioactive spiders,
they'd be dead.
Yeah, the spiders would be dead. Like, I have a very hard time understanding that concept. Like, there might be a type of venom that spiders have that might conflict with your bloodstream, which most venom does. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will make you maybe it will act like a I don't know, cytoplasm or something and loosen you up.
Yeah, maybe.
More fluid.
You'd be like Limberman.
Yeah, Limberman. You'll be just super flexible.
I'll get under that doorway. Yeah. I know. You'd be a limbo
made of paper because paper covers rock. Oh no, I'm lost under the sheet of paper. What do I do?
I don't know. I like the expanded.
Never fear, Scissor Man is here.
Cockroach and I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, the Tick. The Tick is a good one.
The Tick is awesome.
Yeah.
That's old school. That's some 90s shit.
Oh, dude, the 80s. Came out in the comic.
Oh, 80s, yeah.
The late 80s. 88, I think, or 89.
Which also, Amazon did a pretty great job of making that show.
The second series was great. The first one that had Patrick Warburton in it was not so good.
Yeah, when they had Kronk as the Tick was not a good Tick, but I can't think of that gentleman's name, but the actor that does... Yeah, it's the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. That guy.
Yeah, what was his name?
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, no, the second Tick was way better. The guy that played Tick just fucking nailed his personality, too.
Ha-ha!
The oblivious hero. Yeah, exactly.
He was very, very clueless and very much inspired constantly.
It was only 2 seasons, though. They never continued it. And that was
time shedding. Flick.
Yeah. Arthur was
no idea. We all
the guy that played Arthur was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too much. I might have
Go
to rewatch
on Amazon and watch The Tick.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Even your kids could watch it. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not violent.
No. Did you
The
say
terror is excellent. He's creepy and looks like a rat, which is exactly how they describe him. So,
have you seen Invincible?
Yes. Oh my God, they did such a great job with that.
Yes, they
Holy
did.
cow! And you saw that the guy that plays Invincible, or not Invincible,
Ultraman.
Yes, he's he actually like bulked up and like is went from being like the insurance salesman to like being like this buff daddy. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next season.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, they did really good with that.
Isn't sanity really just a one-trick pony anyway?
I'm also really I have Audible, and I got I got Stan Lee's the last novels that he wrote, Alliances.
Oh, nice.
And I've listened to the first book already, and it's a good story, man. It's quite good. I enjoyed it. It's not your typical superhero type story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kid who ends up. Well, I can't really tell you much about it because it'll give the whole fucking storyline away. So
yeah,
this kid gains this ability to use and manipulate any type of electronic, computery type stuff. So,
oh, interesting.
Yeah,
very technologically savvy.
Yeah, it's very technologically. Yeah, something like that. Kind of like, I guess you could call Cypher a technopath. Ultimately, he became a technopath back in the day when he merged with Warlock in New Mutants. Yeah, right? So.
I'm trying to think back to. Do you remember the show Heroes that was out in the 2010s?
Oh yeah.
There was that little kid that could communicate via technology, but like he just had to touch it. Like he touched TV, could touch anything, and then he could manipulate it to his will. That's what that sounds like to me. So
technopath.
I think his name. And his sister was a mimic. She could watch anything and then do it herself.
Yeah, she had
gymnast style,
Taskmaster's power.
Let me just hit my forehead with a knife.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
it's okay. It's fine.
No big deal.
He's like, I want to be nerdy. I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to throw my knife up here.
I always have something. I'm always fidgeting with something down here. Giggity.
Oh, hey now.
Heroes was such a good show, and then what was the second or third season? The writers went on strike, and then it just turned into absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because it had so much potential.
So much.
And
they kept saying they were going to bring it back. Oh, I think they did bring it back for like one season, but I didn't.
And that was garbage too because they had
future thingy and the door, the warping wormhole. Yeah, is nonsense.
I don't even know. Micah, yeah, that was the name of the character that could do that. It was Micah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Micah. Yeah.
You were obsessed with Sylar. Yeah, a lot of people were obsessed with Sylar.
Sylar became a good guy.
Yeah.
Right in the third season, suddenly he was this homebody type. Like
everybody loves a little homebody.
Yeah,
he became a good guy. He's like, I regret everything. Yeah. I'm a good guy now. I don't need.
He was making pancakes for his little son or something.
Right. Yeah. No.
He was a good bad guy.
Yeah. He was. I enjoyed him hunting down everyone. That was entertaining and trippy for me to watch him do his thing. But Hero the teleporter and time traveler.
Great.
I loved Hero. He was so excited all the time.
Yeah.
Hiro Yui, I think his name was. And his father was what's his name?
I can't think of the actor's name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
You can picture him though.
Yeah, and Ando
he was a badass though.
Yeah. He's in so many movies though. Not Hero, but his father's in like so many. He's in Battleship, and he's in the he's in a lot of sci-fi movies, like tons of them.
I remember when they brought that Battleship movie out, I'm like, what in the fuck is this?
There's no plot.
I never saw it.
There's really no plot at all.
Well,
let's just blow shit up and say there's aliens.
Based on a board game. There was never like. Do you remember the board game having alien ships? I sure as fuck don't.
No.
Like what the hell?
No.
However, Pacific Rim was great. The first one was.
That, and he's in that too. That's
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, oh goddamn, what's the other one? Pacific Rim, both of them. He was in those. And then he's in so much sci-fi stuff, so much.
He was
in one of the Transformers movies. He's in so much.
Because I like the whole kaiju thing and all that, right?
The kaijus are cool. I do enjoy kaiju. I enjoy Godzilla. I love the idea of having like a under Earth.
The hollow Earth thing.
Hollow Earth theory. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. Totally unreliable. There would be no light source, but go on.
Aaron said that ruined it for him. As soon as they got into the hollow Earth thing, he's like, nope, this is just fucking ridiculous. Like, Aaron, a giant radioactive lizard is ridiculous to begin with.
I was gonna say, it's like, so you liked it before?
Have you seen the anime, the Godzilla single pointers or whatever the fuck?
Is that the one that's on Netflix?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet. No,
and they got that shitty Jet Jaguar character robot thing. Do you even know who Jet Jaguar is? From the original?
I do. I know who you're talking about. I'm like, I didn't realize that he was in this.
Yeah, he is.
They brought him in.
Robot.
He's only in like one season of the comics.
He's also only in one movie of Godzilla too. Back in the day when they fought Mechagodzilla. I think the series just went really weird. It was just like all of a sudden Rodan is Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah, that was weird.
And there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, there's tons. Oh yeah, no, there's literally hundreds.
They have all these other and then the kaijus come out and they start out kind of small and then they get bigger and bigger. It's just weird. Same with Godzilla. When he comes out, he looks totally different. He's small, then he grows up a little bit, and then he looks like the Godzilla that they have in the painting with the weird snout. And then finally he evolves into the Godzilla that sort of close to the Godzilla that we know of. But I don't know. I tried to like it. I'll wait and see what season, because at the end they show you they're building Mechagodzilla. So I'll wait and see what season 2 has.
Ted Cruz is a giant radioactive lizard.
I disagree. I think Ted Cruz is a million rabbits in a skin suit, and inside, or a million rats in each inside a skin suit, and inside each rat is a million cockroaches.
Each of the rats.
That's what Ted Cruz is made out of.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Listen, guys, I'm really sorry. He originated here.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Which was funny because everyone like gave a shit about where Obama was from. But like they were like, Ted Cruz isn't from here either. Like no one gives a shit about that. They didn't care. It's like you're supposed to be a natural born citizen. Like suddenly it's like, what does that mean? We have to go back to text. We have to analyze it and make sure.
Not for Congress.
Obama, they're like, no,
you have to be a natural born citizen for president, but you don't have to be a natural born citizen for Senate but you do have to be a citizen for over 10 years prior to being able to run for Senate.
There's tons of mice. Finally showed up.
Oh, tons of mice. Hey.
Not tons of frogs today.
Not tons of frogs. That's unfortunate. I love frogs. Mice are still cool, but frogs are better.
I had a pet mouse at some point when I was a kid.
Ted Cruz did run for president. You're right. Yeah. But he only made it to the preliminaries. He didn't make it beyond. So until
he was born in Canada, I'm pretty much sure he's lived in 99% of his life in the U.S.
Well, here's the other thing. Were his parents Canadian or was one of them American?
That I'm not entirely sure, but I know.
Because I thought one of them was American, which technically makes him a natural-born citizen.
Dual citizen. Dual citizen,
yeah. Which is also acceptable.
My father was a dual citizen, actually.
I'm trying. Just throwing it out there. If anyone wants to marry me.
Well, he was. He's passed away now, but which is the reason I started the blood donor group that I did to honor his commitment to be.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I'm apparently not allowed to give blood.
I can't right now either because of the blood thinners, right?
Yeah.
And we should probably clear something up. They call them blood thinners, but they don't actually thin your blood, people.
Nope.
Unlike alcohol. But what they do is they stop your blood from coagulating.
Yes. It's an anticoagulant, not a thinning. Yeah, it's
but that's why
it turns you into a hemophiliac.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying, I'm reading the paperwork that comes in. They should use an electric razor. I go, fuck that. I hate electric razors, and I haven't cut myself shaving since I was fucking 17. So
I would say with that beard trim, that is some on point. Like, you've obviously got some skill there. Razor?
Yeah, no, yeah. I use the the 5-blade thingy. Actually it works quite well. I like those things. So, but I haven't cut myself shaving for years, so I'm not too concerned about it. Well, you should use it. Fuck electric razors don't do shit. They suck.
I wouldn't know.
Even those new ones where they move and warp to your face.
I mean, I've seen them. I've never tried them for anything. Like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, I should get one of those for like my legs. But then everyone was just like, why? It would still leave them fuzzy. Yeah. I was like, what?
Little stubby steps. There's Neil told Jason how long since
his, asked a couple
cane
times.
Is. Oh,
long enough to hit you.
Shit, I don't even know, man. I'm 6'4", so I don't know. Whatever this, I'd have to measure this, but this seems I've got it dialed to the very bottom hole.
He said he wants to make you one.
We'll say it's a meter 10.
I don't even know if it's a meter, but
mine was a meter. When I like lean on it, like that's the height that my arm's at, and I'm 6 foot, so I would say yours is probably a meter.
I would say, I don't have my measuring tape here. Fuck.
Oh, I do. I have like four of them.
Yeah, it doesn't do me any
take
good.
It to him. What are you waiting on?
I can't. It doesn't work.
Anyway,
talking about measuring tape, though, do you know how hard it is in America to get measuring tape with centimeters?
Why? Should have one-on-one.
I can't find it. Milwaukee's the only brand I can ever find that has it, and it's not even in the stores. I have to order it special.
All measuring tapes in Canada come with centimeters and inches.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, a lot of construction still uses the imperial, like 5/8.
Yeah, they do.
Or it's all still done in inches and feet.
No, it's the superior system, so why wouldn't you?
Oh, God.
You're telling yourself that.
I was just like,
Hey, this is kind of handy.
Yeah, just lean it there.
It hides my quadruple chin too. So
what? Oh, that's what the beard's for.
No, that doesn't hide shit.
Oh, yeah, you do have a.
Oh yeah, but I'm 54. It's gonna happen. So
I'm not.
I'm 54. God damn it! Get off my lawn! No, I'm just kidding. I don't even have a lawn.
I think we're at a good place where we could transition into an after party. Neil, what do you say?
Yeah, I'd like that idea.
Can I take a bit of a break before we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome to. Yeah.
Take as long as you need. We'll get it started. I'll send you the link. We usually we do it on Discord. Jump in whenever you.
It's time.
It's time. I wish.
That's fine. Jimmy does it all the time.
Is that the same guy that cracks corn?
Yeah, Jimmy cracks corn too. He does do that.
Different guy.
I don't care.
It's his cousin.
Neither does he apparently. Sorry.
If anyone wants to jump into the after party, check out we'll do it on the public on my my channel on Discord. You won't need a link. Just hop in there, and we'll see what happens. We haven't had things get crazy yet, so don't usually have to regulate it. But,
we're doing this on the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have Discord?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
it's right there.
I have to remind Captain Dadpool really quick to shut down the server properly.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Rachel is thanking you from the kitchen, I'm sure.
Okay, good. Wonderful.
Yeah, so my Discord is... The fuck is my Discord again?
It is...
It should be just Captain Dadpool.
Dadpool's Digs.
But I will post a link in the chat group right here. So make it easy for everybody. All right. All right. Well, thanks again, Neil, for joining us. You want to plug your stuff one more time before we leave?
Yeah, plug it in.
I can be found on actually. I should have just given you my Linktree link, but basically you can find me on YouTube.
Still do that. I'll post it in the show notes.
I'll do that for sure. You can find me on YouTube as Neil the 64 Atheist. I do all the deconversion stories and stuff like that, or things relatively similar to that. You can find me on Twitter at 604 Atheist. You can find me on Facebook. It's just my name, Neil Bernstein. You'll see a picture of this because I am an ACA host as well. So you'll see this thing there. So it's my picture. I've been on like Talk Heathen Truth Wanted and stuff like that.
Oh, very nice.
I'm a fairly regular host of the nonprofits. So
no big deal.
So you can find me there.
No big deal.
Yeah. Those are pretty much. I mean, I'm also on Twitch as well. You can find me at 604 Atheist on Twitch, which you can also watch my show via Twitch as well, and that actually helps boost my Twitch side because I'm trying to build up some stuff on that as well. So
you just started that, didn't you?
Yeah, just recently. Well, in the past 6 months, I guess I started doing that.
Oh, okay.
So I
just started mine a few days ago. I haven't done anything on it yet.
And YouTube. And I was doing Facebook, but the Facebook ones would fuck up every once in a while. So it's like, fuck Facebook anyways. I barely ever go on there, but you can message me through there and I'll get it. So
yeah, Facebook's going the way of MySpace, it seems like.
Well, I just subscribed to Neil on YouTube, so I'll get you on Twitch in a second. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Titan, for posting that for me.
Yeah, thanks, Titan. Titan is on it.
All right.
Oh yeah.
With that, we're going to sign off.
Too. But
I don't
know what it is. People make these things for me. I don't know.
We'll find you. Honestly, once you pop into Discord, I can find your site and your server through you on Discord. So I'll hunt it down.
Send me a Discord link through the Gmail because I see right now here in the west coast of Canada, Twitter works on my app if I'm not on the Wi-Fi.
That's right.
But our Wi-Fi has some issues, and Twitter does not work on the computer. At least it hasn't all day. So let me just quickly check and see what happens. Hey, we're back on! Yay! So
we're live.
Look at that! Yeah, we're good. All right.
Excellent.
Sweet action.
All right.
Dadpool, I'll leave it to you to message him, and I'm going to sign off. You guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It has been a pleasure. I will see you guys in the after party.
Thanks.
See you, Nat. And thanks everyone for the comments. Y'all were a lot of fun in there tonight. Yeah, come around, do this more often. It's fun. Smash the like button, like the smash button, do all that good stuff. And next week we have R&R coming on. Huge thank you to Neil for helping set that up.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time too. All right, y'all have a good night. Join us in the after party.